Imagine buying a car that's capable of flying down the road at over 430 kilometers an hour, only to realize you'll probably never be allowed to drive it that fast. Sounds frustrating, right? Well, that's exactly the story of the Bugatti Veyron Supersport. When Bugatti unveiled this monster, it didn't just build a hypercar, it built a missile with number plates. Under the hood sits an 8.0-liter quad-turbocharged W16 engine producing an unbelievable 1,200 horsepower, launching the car from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.4 seconds before reaching a record-breaking 267 miles per hour. Back then, its biggest rival was the SSC Ultimate Aero, as both fought for the title of the world's fastest production car.
It also carried a jaw-dropping price tag of around $2.4 million, meaning only a handful of people could even dream of owning one. But here's the catch. At speeds like these, normal roads become the real danger. Even the slightest mistake could have catastrophic consequences, which is why Bugatti electronically limited customer cars, and many authorities restricted where the Veyron's full performance could safely be explored. I guess it's safe to say, this Bugatti wasn't afraid of the speed limit was afraid of it. But believe it or not, the next car became a legend without using a single turbocharger. Before Bugatti ruled the speed world, one British masterpiece quietly built a reputation that still commands respect today. Meet the legendary McLaren F1. At first glance, it doesn't look outrageous by today's standards, but don't let that fool you. Behind the driver sits a 6.1-liter naturally aspirated BMW V12, producing 627 horsepower, enough to propel the F1 to an astonishing 240 miles per hour. It could sprint from 0 to 60 in just 3.2 seconds, making it the fastest production car on Earth in the 1990s. It originally sold for around $815,000, while taking on rivals like the Jaguar XJ220 and Bugatti EB110. Here's something most people don't know. The engine bay is lined with real gold, not because McLaren wanted to show off, but because gold reflects heat better than almost any other metal. Now that's one expensive heat shield. Only 106 examples were ever built, making it one of the rarest hypercars ever made.
With performance far beyond what public roads were designed for, insurers and regulators treated the F1 with extreme caution, and its true potential could only be experienced safely on a racetrack. The McLaren F1 didn't just break records, it inspired almost every hypercar that followed. And trust me, the next car makes both of these legends look surprisingly civilized.
What if someone asked Lamborghini to build a fighter jet but forgot to tell them it needed wings? The result would look a lot like the Lamborghini Veneno. Built to celebrate Lamborghini's 50th anniversary, the Veneno wasn't designed to blend in. It was designed to scare everything else off the road. Powered by a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12 producing 740 horsepower, it rockets from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.9 seconds before reaching an incredible 221 miles per hour. When it arrived, one of its biggest rivals was the Ferrari LaFerrari, as both battled for hypercar supremacy. And if you thought the performance was outrageous, wait until you hear the price. The Veneno cost over $4 million, making it one of the most expensive Lamborghinis ever built. Even crazier, Lamborghini made just 9 coupes, meaning you're more likely to spot a celebrity than a Veneno. But here's why this car demanded serious respect. Every sharp edge, giant air intake, and massive rear wing exists for one reason: keeping the car planted at speeds most drivers will never experience. The problem is that public roads are full of traffic, potholes, and unpredictable drivers, not smooth racetracks. That meant the Veneno's incredible performance could only be safely enjoyed in controlled environments, with owners facing strict legal and insurance consequences if they tried to unleash its full potential on the street. Let's be honest, if Batman ever traded in the Batmobile, this would probably be his next choice. And somehow, the next hypercar makes even this carbon fiber monster look almost tame. Most car companies try to beat their rivals. Koenigsegg had a different idea: beat the laws of physics. And that's exactly what they did with the Agera RS. Under its lightweight carbon fiber body sits a 5.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 producing a monstrous 277 miles per hour. When it arrived, its biggest rivals were the Bugatti Chiron and Hennessy Venom GT, as all three battled for the title of the world's fastest production car. As if that wasn't impressive enough, the Agera RS originally cost around $2.5 million, and Koenigsegg built only 25 examples, making it one of the rarest hypercars ever created. But here's what made it truly terrifying.
In 2017, the Agera RS stunned the automotive world by setting multiple production car speed records on a closed highway in Nevada, proving it wasn't just fast on paper, it was fast in the real world. The problem? Public roads simply aren't built for nearly 280 miles per hour. A pothole, an unexpected lane change, or even a split-second distraction could turn disaster into reality. That's why owners are strongly encouraged to experience the car's true performance only on closed courses, while insurers and authorities treat machines like this with extreme caution. Let's just say, if your morning commute involves driving an Agera RS, you're either incredibly lucky or incredibly late. And if you think Koenigsegg had reached its limit, the next hypercar proves there was still another level to unlock.
What happens when a small American company decides it wants to embarrass the biggest names in the hypercar world? You get the Hennessy Venom GT. At first glance, it doesn't look like a Bugatti killer, but hiding beneath its lightweight body is a 7.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8 producing a staggering 1,244 horsepower. That was enough to launch the Venom GT from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.7 seconds before reaching a jaw-dropping 270 miles per hour. Its biggest rivals were the Bugatti Veyron Supersport and the Koenigsegg Agera RS, and somehow this tiny American manufacturer managed to challenge both. The Venom GT originally cost around $1.2 million, and with only 13 cars ever built, spotting one in public is about as likely as winning the lottery twice. But here's what made the Venom GT so special. In 2014, it blasted from 0 to 186 miles per hour in just 13.63 seconds, setting a world record at the time and proving that brute force could compete with Europe's finest engineering. Downside? A car capable of 270 miles per hour has almost no room for mistakes on public roads. Uneven pavement, traffic, or even a delayed reaction could become life-threatening in an instant. That's why owners are expected to reserve the Venom GT's true performance for controlled environments, where its incredible speed can be explored safely. Let's be honest, if this thing pulls up next to you at a traffic light, the smartest race you can enter is the one where you stay parked. But if you think American horsepower is crazy, the next hypercar rewrote the rulebook all over again. Most hypercars are built to be fast. The Pagani Huayra BC was built to make speed look like an art form. Named after Horacio Pagani's close friend and first customer, Benny Caiola, the Huayra BC isn't just beautiful, it's absolutely ferocious. Under the sculpted body sits a 6.0-liter twin-turbocharged AMG V12, producing 790 horsepower. That power launches it from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 2.8 seconds before reaching a top speed of over 230 miles per hour. Its biggest rivals were the McLaren P1 and the Ferrari LaFerrari, two hybrid hypercars that pushed performance to another level. Owning one wasn't cheap either. The Huayra BC debuted at around $2.5 million, and Pagani built just 20 examples, making it one of the rarest modern hypercars ever created. But here's what makes the BC different. Instead of chasing speed with brute force alone, Pagani obsessed over weight. The car is built from an advanced carbon titanium material that's incredibly light yet exceptionally strong, helping it carve through corners with unbelievable precision. The catch? A machine this responsive leaves almost no room for mistakes. On normal roads filled with traffic, potholes, and unpredictable drivers, the Huayra BC's true performance simply can't be used safely. That's why owners are expected to enjoy its limits on closed circuits, where both the driver and everyone around them are protected. Let's just say, driving a Huayra BC to the grocery store is a bit like wearing a tuxedo to the gym. And if you thought this masterpiece was impressive, the next hypercar chased one goal above everything else, becoming the fastest car on Earth. Imagine taking on Bugatti with a company almost nobody had heard of. Sounds impossible, right? Well, that's exactly what SSC did with the Ultimate Aero. Built by the American manufacturer SSC North America, the Ultimate Aero arrived with one goal: beat the Bugatti Veyron. Under the hood was a 6.3-liter twin-turbocharged V8 producing more than 1,180 horsepower, launching the car from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3 seconds before reaching an incredible 256 miles per hour. At the time, its only real rival was the Bugatti Veyron, and the two fought one of the greatest speed battles in automotive history. The Ultimate Aero originally cost around $740,000, making it dramatically cheaper than the Veyron. Sometimes spending less really did get you more. Then came the moment that changed everything.
In 2007, the Ultimate Aero officially became the world's fastest production car, ending Bugatti's reign and proving that a small American company could take down one of the biggest names in the industry. It was one of the greatest underdog stories the automotive world has ever seen. But a car capable of over 250 miles per hour is far beyond what public roads were built to handle. At those speeds, everyday traffic, road imperfections, and even tiny steering corrections become serious hazards. That's why owners are expected to save the Ultimate Aero's true potential for controlled environments, where its incredible performance can be explored safely. Let's be honest, beating Bugatti is impressive. Doing it for almost 1/3 of the price? That's just showing off. But if you think the speed war ends here, the next hypercar takes things into territory that almost sounds impossible.
What happens when Mercedes decides a Formula One car should be legal to drive on the street? You get one of the most insane engineering projects ever attempted, the Mercedes-AMG One. Instead of borrowing ideas from Formula One, the AMG One borrowed the actual engine. Under the body sits a 1.6-liter turbocharged V6 hybrid, derived from Mercedes' championship-winning Formula One power unit, producing an astonishing 1,063 horsepower. It rockets from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.9 seconds before reaching a top speed of 219 miles per hour. Its biggest rivals include the Aston Martin Valkyrie and Ferrari SF90XX, but none share such a direct connection to Formula One technology. The AMG One carried a price tag of around $2.7 million, and with just 275 cars built, owning one is about as exclusive as joining the Formula One grid. But here's the unbelievable part. Mercedes engineers spent years trying to make a Formula One engine survive everyday driving. Race engines are designed to last only a few races, not grocery runs and traffic jams, so making this machine road legal became one of the toughest engineering challenges the company had ever faced. The result is a hypercar capable of performance that public roads simply weren't designed to handle. Between its race-bred powertrain, instant hybrid acceleration, and razor-sharp handling, the AMG One truly comes alive on a racetrack, where its incredible technology can be used safely and as intended. Let's be honest, if your daily commute requires a Formula One engine, you're probably living a very different life from the rest of us. And now, there's only one hypercar left, and trust me, it makes everything you've seen so far look almost ordinary. Ferrari once said they'd never build a hybrid supercar. Then, they created one that changed the automotive world forever. Meet the LaFerrari. At its heart is a screaming 6.3-liter naturally aspirated V12, working alongside an electric motor to produce a staggering 950 horsepower. Together, they launched the LaFerrari from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 2.6 seconds, before pushing on to a top speed of over 217 miles per hour. Its biggest rivals were the McLaren P1 and the Porsche 918 Spyder, creating what many enthusiasts still call the greatest hypercar rivalry of all time. The LaFerrari originally cost around $1.4 million, but Ferrari built only 499 coupes, and today many sell for well over double their original price. But here's what made the LaFerrari revolutionary. It wasn't just fast, it proved that hybrid technology could make a performance car even faster, using instant electric torque to eliminate hesitation and launch the car with unbelievable force. That single idea changed the future of hypercars forever. The downside? With nearly 1,000 horsepower available almost instantly, the LaFerrari can overwhelm even experienced drivers if they're careless. Public roads simply aren't designed for that level of performance, which is why Ferrari encourages owners to experience the car's true potential on closed circuits, where it can be driven safely. Well, let's be honest, this isn't the kind of hybrid that's trying to save fuel. It's the kind that's trying to bend your face backwards every time you hit the accelerator. And now, we've reached the #1 hypercar, a machine so outrageous, it pushed the idea of a road car to its absolute limit. What if Formula One engineers were told they had just one mission: build the closest thing possible to an F1 car that could legally wear a number plate? The answer is the Aston Martin Valkyrie. From the moment you see it, you know this isn't an ordinary hypercar. Power comes from a screaming 6.5-liter naturally aspirated Cosworth V12, paired with a hybrid system to produce an astonishing 1,160 horsepower. It rockets from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 2.5 seconds, while its race-inspired aerodynamics generate so much downforce that it looks like it belongs on a Grand Prix circuit, not a public road. Its biggest rivals include the Mercedes-AMG One and the Ferrari LaFerrari, but the Valkyrie chased one goal above everything else: bringing Formula One technology to the street.
Owning one isn't just exclusive, it's almost impossible. With a price of around $3 million and production limited to 150 road cars, the Valkyrie instantly became one of the most sought-after hypercars ever built. But here's what truly makes it extraordinary. Much of the car was developed with direct input from Formula One design genius Adrian Newey, whose championship-winning ideas helped shape one of the most advanced road cars ever created. Every vent, every curve, and every surface exists for one purpose: performance. The catch? A machine this extreme demands complete concentration. Its razor-sharp responses, incredible acceleration, and race-focused design mean public roads can never safely reveal what it's truly capable of. That's why owners experience the Valkyrie at dedicated circuits, where its engineering can finally be appreciated without compromise. Let's be honest, if this is what Aston Martin calls a road car, we'd love to know what they think a race car looks like.
These hypercars prove one incredible thing. The biggest challenge isn't building a car that's unbelievably fast, it's building roads, tires, and safety systems that can keep up with it. From the legendary McLaren F1 to the Formula One-inspired Aston Martin Valkyrie, every one of these machines pushed the limits of engineering and showed that there's a fine line between genius and insanity. So, which one would you choose if money wasn't an issue? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoyed today's countdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.